Welcome, beautiful souls. I'm so excited to see you. So today we have a pick a card reading on what are your dreams trying to tell you. So for pile number 1, we have this elephant here. For pile number 2, we have this bunny. And for pile number 3, we have this panda. Go ahead and choose your pile. Timestamps are down below in the description, and I will see you in a moment. Bye now. Hello, my beautiful pile number 1s who chose this elephant here. This reading is for you. So with the elephant, I'm seeing that your dreams might be telling you that you either need to be strong at some point in your waking life, or that something challenging might come that will require you to be strong, or they might be telling you that you need to use your inner wisdom for something in your waking life. Let's see what the tarot says. Let's first find out what you're dreaming about, pile 1. What are you dreaming about? Pile 1, what are you having dreams about? What kind of things are you seeing in your dreams? You might even be seeing elephants in your dreams. Could be one of those things since that came out. What are you dreaming about? We got despair by nature spirits. So you could be dreaming about flowers, things out in nature, stars, ghosts, and spirits I'm seeing as well. Some of you guys are dreaming of a haunted house I'm seeing, or like a really dark place or a dark house. So some of you guys are actually having some nightmares. What else are you dreaming about? Grace. Okay, so we got the opposite there. So some of you guys might be seeing doves in your dreams, some flowers in your dreams. You might be feeling quite blissful and happy in your dreams. Seeing that you might be seeing hills or mountains in your dreams. What are you seeing in your dreams? We got truth. So I'm seeing that you might have seen somebody lie or someone who wasn't really being authentic in your dream. You might have dreamed of candles, fires, flame, even the sun. I'm seeing a lot of yellow, so definitely could have seen the sun in your dream. But yet you could have dreamed about someone deceiving you, about something betraying you, or someone lying. What else did pile 1 dream about? We have exhaustion. So you could have saw stairs in your dream, or dreams about climbing up or down stairs I'm seeing. Dreams about being in pain, dreams about being sick. Again, I'm seeing ghosts and spirits, so some of you guys are having dreams about ghosts. I heard candle magic as well. Some of you guys, that might be just for some people, but maybe someone had a dream about candle magic. Let's find out a little bit more about what you're dreaming about. Okay, so if you look at this card, I see that there are some bunnies on it. There's coins, there's this fairy, and we've got sort of this like dark purpley aura. So I'm definitely seeing that some of the places or some of the themes in your dreams could have been, you could have saw butterflies, fairies, you could have had a dream revolving around money, money fears as well, or even a dream involving seeing bunnies or rabbits as well. A dream that where you felt like very rich or very wealthy could have also been one of your dreams. I'm definitely seeing the idea that the dream may have happened in a dark place. So some of you guys had nightmares that were in a dark place where you felt like you couldn't get out of, or maybe there was a doorway that you had to use to get out of. So it's going to be very different for every person, but just so that we know which dream we're talking about, we really wanted to clarify and get what are some possible dream themes. Let's get one more. We also got the Emperor. So because we got like a very masculine energy and a very feminine energy here, I'm seeing that definitely could have dreamed about a relationship or a father and a mother. Could have dreamed about seeing a lot of magic vibes, so definitely could have dreamed about something involving magic or some kind of like spiritual magic realm. Could have dreamed about sword fighting. I heard Middle Ages. Maybe you had a dream that was somewhere in the Middle Ages. Might have dreamt about angels. Or just had a very important man in your dream. So either that was your own father or a man that you know in your life. It could have been that a man appeared in your dream. I'm also seeing a single mom could have appeared in your dream as well. Could have also saw a waterfall, had some songs in your dream, or a musical instrument, or about playing a musical instrument, or even stars in space with this card. We also have the number 4, so we could have dreamt about the number 4 or dreamt about something that has to do with our home life. Or dreamt about our home in some way. Okay, so now that we have an idea about what might have been in the dream, let's find out what was it trying to tell us. So what was this dream trying to tell us? Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords. So definitely confirming that you were sleeping when you had this dream. The 7 of Cups. And the Chariot in reverse. Maybe a couple more. Okay, we also got the Empress. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. I heard space again, so some of you guys definitely had your dream in a space, or even on another planet, or just in an unfamiliar place. I heard spiritual as well, so some of you guys just felt like very spiritual in the dream, or felt like it had some kind of spiritual vibe to it. This is so like going to be so different for every single person because nobody's having like the exact same dreams as each other. But these are just sort of giving you guys hints because I'm hearing that they're just very different for each person. I'm also seeing that the dream could have happened in a garden, in a forest, or in a place with plants or trees. So I see this dream is trying to let you know that you are doing a lot right now. You are juggling a lot of things. You have a lot of choices. You have a lot of decisions you need to make, or just a lot of things that you're juggling. I'm definitely seeing juggling, like you have a lot of things going on. And you're really trying to get a lot done, and you're really go. You're trying to get a lot done, and because you're spending so much time on all these things, trying to put your energy into so many cups, I'm hearing, trying to get so many things done, your body is feeling very depleted. I'm seeing that you really need to rest. Even with this exhaustion card here, you're really needing to rest. You're really needing to take a break. You really need to take some time to refill your own cup and to take care of yourself and nurture yourself. I'm seeing your dreams are trying to alert you to the fact that you're exhausted. You might be doing so many things that you don't even realize that you need to slow down and take some time for you. I'm seeing that your dream is trying to alert you to the fact that things are going to be okay if you drop some balls, I'm hearing. I'm seeing if you let some things fall to the wayside for now, if you give it a break, if you just let them be and you reprioritize and you only focus on what's really important right now and rebalance for yourself, that things are going to be just fine. You're going to be blissful. You're going to be happy. You're going to be in a great energy, and you'll be able to recharge yourself enough to be able to handle your goals again. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the need to reprioritize and just to let some things fall to the wayside. Put yourself first. Put your self-care first. Put your self-care above the projects and the things that you're working on, and allow yourself some time to care for yourself. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the need to balance too. Seeing that, I'm feeling like the people on this pile might be feeling very stressed out right now, and like it might even be on a subconscious level. Like you don't realize you're feeling stressed out, but you really are, and that's what your dreams are trying to tell you, is that you're stressed out, that you need a break, that you need to stop thinking about so many things and just allow yourself to rest. I'm seeing that one of the things that you're carrying, or one of the things that's happening in your life, is like some kind of conflict with another person. I'm seeing that the conflict is fairly minor, so it's not like an overly big conflict, but if there's like a conflict with another person where you just like don't really see eye to eye, it might just be that and you might like think that they're lying, or that they're fibbing, or that like they're just like they're not telling the truth, or they're just not seeing things in the right way. It might be that they just simply have their own way of viewing it, and that their way of viewing it isn't necessarily wrong, but that it's just simply different than yours, and that both truths, both perspectives, both ways of looking at things are okay. They can both coexist. They don't need to be in a fight with each other. If you're feeling like, and this could even be like against society, like maybe there's something society's doing right now, or something that like something that all of your work's doing, or some big population of people are doing right now that you're like in total disagreement about, and like you just think like, and it's kind of causing you a little bit of stress in the background. Like you might not even think that you spend that much time on it, but just even those like little thoughts here and there, thinking about like, oh, how it's so dumb how the government does this, or it's so dumb how, you know, everybody's been doing this right now, or everybody's been doing that right now, and maybe that's like been weighing you down a little bit. And it's not that that group of people is wrong, I'm hearing. It's that you just have a different way of viewing it, and that like both those sides can coexist together, that you don't need to fight it, you don't need to challenge it. You can just allow both sides to exist and sort of give it to the universe. You don't need to fight that battle yourself. For others of you, I'm seeing that you already know this message. Like you already know that you're worn out. Like you're well aware that your intuition is trying to tell you that you're worn out, that you're taking on too much, and you're just kind of like really trying to push and make yourself do it anyways. And if that's the case, then your dreams it's coming up in your sleep time. So you might be waking up in the middle of the night. You might be having nightmares. You might be like just kind of tossing and turning in your sleep and not having great sleep. And that's because of all those extra burdens you're carrying, because of all those extra things you're carrying. I'm not seeing that it's gotten like incredibly bad right now. Like I'm seeing that we're like in the beginning stepping stones where you've just like kind of entered an out of balance state, and that you can kind of easily get yourself out of it at this point. So the universe is kind of telling you like right now, like, okay, you've stepped a little bit over the line. Let's get back in so that we can get back into balance. And if you choose to listen to this message, then you know you're probably a very balanced person who can use those advice and get yourself back into balance very easily. Okay, let's find out more about your dreams. Let's find out more about your dreams. Pile one. What do you need to know about what your dreams are telling you? Pile one. What do you need to know about what your dreams are telling you? Your dreams may also be telling you that you are going to be financially abundant soon, or that some project or something you're working on is going to work out, that you are going to be successful in that, and that things are going to be very positive in that direction, especially because you are taking action towards that. And then it's okay to take a step back every now and then too, and then to re-care for yourself, get yourself back into a high vibration, get yourself back into alignment, and then start again. We have building blocks. What else do we need to know about Pile 1's dreams? Ending in reverse. So a couple of messages with this building block card. So if you are working, like I said, on something and you're working very hard and you're building a foundation, it might be that you're just like at the beginning of a project or at the beginning stages of something that you are working on. And that if you are at the beginning, like things are starting to build, and it might just be like letting us know that that's why you feel so called to push. And I'm hearing like the action you're taking is a good thing. It's not bad to take action. It's okay to slow down too. You just need to rebalance a little bit. You might have just stretched a little too far in the other direction, but that's okay. It doesn't sound like you've went like extremely far. Shouldn't be too hard to get yourself back into balance, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing, is that you are in the midst of building something, that you're looking at the higher perspective, you're getting new ideas, you have all these ideas all over the place. So you might actually be even getting ideas about this project in your dreams, I'm seeing. Yeah. And the other thing I'm seeing with this card is that you might be being reminded about your beliefs, your values, and your morals through this dream. So the message of this card as a whole is to evaluate if your beliefs and morals are still aligned with your higher self, with your biggest goals, dreams, and ambitions. It asks you to look within and to check out your beliefs and make sure that they are going to help you manifest your goals and manifest what you truly want. And so you might be having dreams about some of the things that don't resonate in your life. And this could be relationships too, or even just things in your life that don't belong anymore. So you might be having dreams about, like, let's say you might be having dreams about arguing with somebody, especially with this mending in reverse card coming here. If you had a dream about an argument with somebody, or you had an argument about somebody with somebody, and then the next day you had like an anxiety ridden dream, it could be that the dream's trying to tell you, what no longer serves you in your life. So some things that could not serve you in that situation could be the person themselves, but it could also be how you argued with the person. Maybe you were yelling or raising your voice and that's no longer in alignment. Maybe you were being passive and allowing that person to have all the say and you weren't sticking up for yourself. Maybe you were arguing about the same thing that you've argued about 10 times, and it's getting to the point where you need to either decide whether or not you're going to continue with this person, and if that's too much for you and that's a deal breaker, or you're going to decide that that's just simply a part of their personality and you might need to just accept that about that person. It could be any number of things, but like that could be why you're having sort of these dreams, is because you are reevaluating some things in your life and seeing if they are in alignment with who you are meant to be, with what you're meant to do, with what you're currently working on, especially if you are working on creating a new career, a new project, manifesting something. They're just asking you to see if your life as it is right now, that's a better way of saying it. Thank you, Spirit. It's asking you what you want to take with you to your new life. So when you start that new beginning, when you go in that direction, when you start creating that new life and you start taking these baby steps in that direction, it's asking you, what do you want to come with you? What beliefs are coming with you? What thoughts are coming with you? Which people are coming with you? Are you going to live in the same house? Like, what does this new life look like, and what goes and what stays? So with this mending card here, I definitely heard right away that, and this is only for some of you guys, so don't everybody take it if it doesn't resonate with you. It's probably not for you. I'm getting that these people definitely know who they are. They know that this is the truth. But I heard the message, some relationships aren't worth mending. So it might be that a lot of energy is going into trying to fix a situation that is just broken and just isn't going to be fixed. I'm also hearing that this might not be necessarily a person-to-person relationship. This could be just like, this could be a job that's just sort of done in your life, any kind of experience that's done in your life, a project that's just not going to work no matter how many times you try. Like I got an image of like somebody stacking Jenga pieces and it's just falling over, and then they're trying to stack it again and then falling over, and like the universe's message is like there's only so many times you can try. At some point you have to like accept that this just isn't going to be fixed. This is just over. It's just not meant to be anymore. Again, not getting hugely intense like ending energy here though. This is pretty minor and flowy. I'm seeing like if this is a relationship or a real connection in your life that did have like a lot of meaning to you at one point, like it probably doesn't as much now. It's probably more exhausting you and just not making you feel too great about it. I'm also hearing that some of you guys might need to tweak your goals in a little bit of ways, and that you might be having dreams about that, where that your dreams might be trying to tell you that there are certain goals and things you're working on that just need to be edited like ever so slightly. Again, very minor energy I'm getting here. And that like you might be a little bit resistant to how you need to tweak it. Maybe you need to do things a little bit more like how everybody else does them, and you're kind of resistant to that because you're like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be like myself. But that is indeed the way to do it. You kind of just need to follow the way it's always been done, not reinventing the wheel, as bad as that sounds. For others of you, there's like a different reason why you're resistant to the change, but that could also be it as well. I'm seeing wow, we got like so many different energies with this reading. I just got another message about that card, and it's a completely different one. Okay, so another message about the card is that you could have a there could be a relationship or a friendship in your life that ended a long time ago. So like you've already kind of come to terms with like that it was over, you already ended it, you already walked away from it, and it might actually be revisiting right now. And that maybe you're having dreams indicating that this is going to happen, or that you're having dreams about because you're like anxious or annoyed or just having emotions that's happening, and that you just need to explore those emotions a bit. I'm seeing for some of you guys this connection that you need to, that like is sort of re-coming up for whatever reason. And again, like it re-coming up doesn't even mean that it's coming into the physical. It could literally just be that like you're thinking about this person again when you haven't thought about them in forever, and you're kind of like wondering like, why did I have a dream about that ex that I'm so over? Like this, that could literally be your situation. And it's probably just the energy, honestly. But there's of course emotions and themes that need to be explored. We'll definitely get a little bit more information on that. But one message I got before I do go on to the more information is that this definitely could be a father figure for some of you guys as well. So if you had it's a sad story, but like if you were growing up and you had like a father who like disappeared out of your life or left you or abandon you in some way, then it could be that you got over it in adulthood. You don't really think about it anymore. You kind of like blocked that person off and you don't really have them in your life. And now you're thinking about them again. So again, doesn't have to be romantic. It like there's literally so many situations I'm getting that people are having very unique dreams, very unique to themselves, and we're not really following 100% of a theme here. The theme seems to be that it's exhausting you, it's making you tired, and that you need to spend more energy on yourself instead of worrying about all these other things. It might be that some of you guys are having more than one of these situations happening too. I'm definitely seeing a lot of energy in a lot of places. So for some of you guys, that actually is your experience. So some of you guys just have a lot going on. And we also had this Y card fly out. So one thing I'm seeing with the imagery here of the book is that you definitely could have had a dream that involved reading or studying, or you could have even like fallen asleep while you were reading or studying and then had this dream. That's again just for some of you guys, but yeah, I'm definitely seeing that you might be questioning something, or like this this dream could have like frustrated you in a way where you were asking why. Like with the ex situation that I mentioned earlier, if an ex came up in your dream, you might have woken up and been like, why? Like, why are they coming into my dream? So like you might be stressed out and asking a lot about this dream because it was a situation that you wish didn't come up again. Another message I got just with our old message of earlier about manifesting and creating our lives is to really understand your intent as to why you want what you want. So some of you guys need to reconnect with if you have a dream or a passion or something that you're trying to manifest or something that you're trying to create in your life. Why do you want it? How does it serve your higher purpose? How is it in alignment with you? And that will help you manifest it easier. And that's why you're sort of having certain dreams. Yeah, I also heard with this card that you might be struggling with forgiveness, and that could be coming up in your dreams. Forgiving a certain person in your life, or that you are not wanting to rely and trust other people right now, and that like trusting other people and delegating some of the things that you are working on can be especially helpful in the situation that you are in right now. If you allow some of those people in, if you allow them, like even if you're just feeling down and depressed or sad, or like I'm hearing that there could be like a lot of emotions coming up, maybe even emotions that you're not really feeling on a conscious level, emotions that are coming up in your dreams. And then if you're feeling them, definitely to allow other people in and to allow yourself to depend on them and allow yourself to be helped by them. Okay, what else do we need to know about your dreams? What else do we need to know about your dreams? We have meditate. And write a gratitude list. Yeah, so for some of you guys, your dreams are asking you to... Okay, I've got a few messages here. So your dreams are asking you to... One, if you are working on manifesting something, definitely take some time to do some of these practices like meditation, like writing a gratitude list, like scripting, I'm hearing as well. Yeah, definitely take some time to do some spiritual practices that will help you with manifesting your goal. So that's one message. But another thing I'm hearing is that if you're feeling tired and exhausting and like you're kind of dragging your feet through life, just take a moment to remember what you have in your life and what you are grateful for and what you are happy to have. Your dreams might be trying to remind you, especially if you are having this good dream that we mentioned over here. Your dreams might be reminding you about what you do have, about what there is to appreciate in your life. I'm also hearing that with this number 55 here, that stood out to me right away. But some of you guys might be going through a lot of changes and a lot of ups and downs, and Spirit just wants you to really like trust in them and allow the flow, and to allow yourself to take a deep breath and see where life takes you. You don't need to push or do anything. You can just kind of allow things to happen and see where it goes a bit. Release some of the reins. Like definitely still take action. Like the action is positive, but don't push action to a point where it's out of balance or where you're fighting against the universe instead of being in flow with it. Seeing with this one here that your dreams may actually be showing you certain colors too, and that the colors that they're showing you might have to do with certain chakras that are out of balance as well, and doing certain chakra meditations can really help you heal as well. Seeing a lot of heavy yellow, so either you guys have a very healed solar plexus chakra and you're feeling very confident, very happy, or that's something that really needs to be healed to help you manifest your goals. Okay, that's all I have, pile number 1. I really hope you enjoyed that message, and thank you so much for watching. Bye now. Hello, my beautiful souls who chose pile number 2, and if you chose this bunny rabbit here, then this reading is for you. Okay, pile 2. Okay, pile 2. Let's find out what your dreams are trying to tell you. And because you guys did choose this bunny rabbit, it is possible that you have had dreams about rabbits or dreams with rabbits in them. You could have had dreams around making money, or just feeling fulfilled in your life in some way, or even dreams about anxiety, or dreams in which that you were calm after a state of anxiety as well, I'm seeing. So let's find out through our oracle cards what are in your dreams. Okay, pile 2. Pile 2, what are you dreaming about? Pile 2, what are you dreaming about? You've got the movement card. So maybe you had a dream where you were dancing. You might be having very colorful dreams or even dreams about colors. The colors in your dreams could also mean something to you. Or even dreams where you were doing yoga or working out or even some kind of sport I'm seeing. Let's find out a little bit more. There's going to be different dreams for different people, so maybe only a couple of these messages will resonate with you, or maybe they'll just resonate with more than one dream that you are having. But hopefully we will get a good indicator as to which dream we are talking about here. Let's find out what is happening in your dreams. Read. Okay, so you might have had a dream where you were studying, reading a book, dreams about some of the books you're reading, where you were those characters, or you were in a scene from a book. I also heard a scene from a movie, so some of you guys are actually dreaming about movies as well, especially for those of you guys who don't read that much. I'm seeing you might have had a dream involving some kind of wish, or some kind of you making a wish, or that reflected a wish that you have in your awake life. I'm seeing that you could have had dreams about diamonds or crystals as well, or maybe they appeared at some point in your dream. Definitely seeing the idea that you may have had a dream involving money in some way again. Or I also heard studying and school anxiety as well. So some of you guys, especially, you know what, actually even everybody, because I still have school dreams and I'm well out of school, but so some of you guys are having dreams about school, possibly like those classic dreams where you show up to school naked, or you show up to school and you don't know the test, or you show up to school and you're late, or you show up to school and you don't know where to go, or you don't know which classes to have. You might be having those sort of anxiety dreams, or dreams where you're even studying and you don't really understand what you're studying. See what else, what other kinds of dreams are you having? What other kinds of dreams are you having? We have make a meal. So a few messages with that one. Could have a dream around cooking, a dream around food, dream around feeling sick, or even with this knife here, you could have had a dream, like some kind of scary nightmare dream that involves a knife in some way, getting cut, getting hurt, some bad person with a knife. We also have massage and sweet treat. So yes, definitely getting that you might be having dreams about food. That's coming up for sure. You also could be having dreams where you are in pain in some way, or I'm definitely seeing that your body could be involved in some way of the dream. I don't know how that would play out in a dream, but definitely let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you, if there's a dream involving your body in some way, or something to do with your body. Definitely seeing dreams where you were cooking or making food. Possibly even something to do with a cookbook I'm seeing here. Okay, now let's find out a little bit about why you're having these dreams that you're having. Pile 2. Why are you having these dreams? Pile 2, why are you having these dreams? We have the 4 of air. So you might be having these dreams because it's time to take a rest, it's time to take a break. You might need to meditate more or to connect with yourself more. Or you might be dealing with a decision in your life. Also, horses could appear in your dream, or unicorns, or even a forest or trees could be a theme in one of your dreams. Pile 2, why are you having these dreams? And we have the Sun in reverse. So it could be telling you that maybe lately you haven't been looking on the bright side of things, or you've been looking at things as if like sort of the glass is half empty, or things aren't very good in your life, or you've been very focused on like the not so great things in your life, and your dreams want to point out the positive things in your life. I'm also hearing that like even just by having those negative thoughts, you may have just manifested some bad dreams that are just reflecting what's going on in your waking life. If you resonate with the dreams being not so great. We also have the 8 of Earth. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic. Going back to school. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that some of you guys are having dreams about going back to school. Even if you're not in school right now, you're definitely having dreams about like showing up at school, not knowing the answers to a test, or things like that. Typical dreams where, or even just like all your peers making fun of you at school, or, you know, showing up dressed wrong, or there's all kinds of dreams it could be, but things like that I'm definitely seeing could be a possibility for you guys. I'm also seeing that some of you guys are having these dreams because you're very overworked at work. So you might be very go, and not really taking a lot of time to rest, especially with this 4 of Air card here, that you guys are not always taking the time you need to slow down. I'm seeing that some of you guys are dealing with like a lot of problems in your life right now, and a lot of different challenges, and just like a lot of things are coming up like sort of unexpectedly, and you're like trying to research, you're trying to learn, you're trying to figure out sort of how to get over these hurdles. And so you might even be looking for answers in your dreams. So maybe your dreams actually do have some kind of answers for you guys for your problems. I'm seeing that you guys might also be praying a lot too, and like asking for support, asking for help with these problems, and your dreams might be sending you messages about them. You could also see mountains in your dreams, or fairies, or butterflies, or angels. And your dream could also be letting you know that whatever it is you're working hard on or putting a lot of energy into right now, it is going to pay off in the future. It is going to help you in the future. All right, let's see. What else do we need to know about your dreams? What are the messages that your dreams are trying to tell you? Oh, this is a different one. 8 of Water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful. So it could be trying to tell you that something in your life is not in alignment. Something in your life needs to be let go of, or that you're carrying onto burdens that you don't need to hang on to anymore. Yeah, I see this mermaid here in the background. You could be seeing mermaids in your dreams. That's another one that could be. But I heard the word drowning. So some of you guys are really just drowning in responsibility right now, drowning in burdens, drowning in your thoughts and your anxieties. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of anxiety out of this pile. So it might just be that your anxiety is really manifesting into your dreams right now. And it's because you might be overburdened in your physical life. You might just actually be taking on a lot of responsibility, a lot of different projects, a lot of different even just tasks in your daily life. You might be working a lot. Maybe you guys are the people who have 2 or 3 jobs. Maybe you're taking care of a family and you're working at the same time. Whatever it is, you're feeling very overwhelmed. And maybe you don't think you're feeling overwhelmed, but it's definitely coming off in your dreams that your body's trying to tell you that you are overwhelmed. You guys might even be dealing with ailments like backaches, like neck aches, like muscle aches in some way, because you are stressed out about what is happening in your daily life. Some of you guys aren't eating the greatest right now. You're going after quick foods or sweet foods, or foods that aren't or foods that are just aren't the greatest for you and aren't making you feel good, aren't feeling your body as good as they could feel your body. Others of you, I'm seeing that you've just changed into having a diet, and I'm sure that's going to be a positive thing for you, but it could also be stressing you out as well. Maybe you've sort of bit off more than you can chew with that diet, where you're using so many different ingredients and it's taking up a lot of time during your night, for example, or you've had to cut out an entire food group and that's just became very challenging for you because that means you have to eat in a total different way. or even the diet just isn't the healthiest diet in the world. It's more of a fad diet, and it's causing you some kind of sickness. I'm seeing that you also might be bored and unfulfilled with what you're doing in life. So whatever you're doing for work over here might actually be unfulfilling, and you're being worked to the bone where you're working, but you're kind of like bored of it. So maybe you're actually like working and then studying on the side, or working and then starting a side hustle, or working and then starting something more passionate. I'm seeing for some of you guys as well, because you're starting to feel unfulfilled with whatever your main job is. Some of you guys might not have even gotten to this point, and your dreams might be trying to tell you that you need to get to this point where you do decide to start searching elsewhere for other opportunities by either going to school on the side, or by starting a side hustle. Definitely there is some time management messages with that as well, though. Definitely do take some time to rest, and do take some time to take care of yourself before you start anything new, because I'm definitely seeing this overwhelmed energy here. It could be that you are thinking about doing something on the side, and you're like really stressed out about, how am I going to make the time for that when I have all these other things going on? Or when I'm exhausted already with what I'm dealing with. And another message I'm getting is that if you're feeling exhausted with what you're doing right now, it could simply be because that's unfulfilling, and it exhausts you because it wasn't meant for you, because it's not in alignment with you. And that you actually won't feel that exhaustion when you're doing something that is in alignment with you. Okay, lots of different messages there. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? What else do we need to know about Pile 2's dreams? Pile 2. What else do we need to know about your dreams? Pile 2, what else do we need to know about your dreams? Yeah, the boredom message came out. So that's a big message for some of you guys, that you're definitely feeling bored with your life, with what you're doing right now. For some of you guys, I'm really seeing that you feel like you're not giving enough. Like there's something that you feel like you need to give more of something, and that's crazy, because as I'm saying, like, you guys are overworked, you guys are doing a lot, you guys are feeling like very taxated, very much out of energy, yet you still feel like you're not doing enough. So for some of you guys, like, that's your inner critic talking to you, saying that even though you're giving, or even though you're doing, or even though you're putting all this work in, that your inner critic's still trying to tell you that you need to work harder, you need to push more, you need to make more happen. I'm also getting like another message that, like, some of you guys I'm seeing as like I'm seeing like with this 4 of Air card, that you guys are like, you guys might be feeling depressed, or feeling like you're getting out of bed and you already have no energy. You're already feeling sluggish. You're definitely feeling like it's not the right thing for you, or it's kind of just a job, or it's just there for money, or it's just there for financial support, and you're just not feeling like it's really meant for you right now. And that might be like something that you don't even realize. You don't even realize how bored you are with your life, or how bored you are with your job. You might think you like it because you're busy all the time, but in reality, it's not fulfilling for you, and that might be what your dreams are trying to tell you. This is a very dreamlike card here too. Like, you guys could even be dreaming about wolves, or feathers, or angels, or stars, even space. I'm seeing. Yeah, what a dreamlike card. But yeah, and the message with this card is that like, even if things seem calm and stable and like not that hard right now, like, you could still be bored with your life. You could still be bored underneath all of that, even if things are calm and stable. Like, you don't always want to play it safe, because it's unfulfilling in the end. And the message with the card is to go out and either do something creative that really lights you up, or to go out and give to other people in some way. Do something that makes you feel good about doing something for another person, and that will help you feel better as well. Which seems funny, like you're exhausted from your life, but the suggestion is to then go and give more, which is interesting. So that message isn't going to apply to all of you, because some of you guys really have been giving and don't really have much energy left. But if you're feeling like you're not quite giving to a lot of people, but you're still exhausted with your life, even though you're like, some of you guys are really in the position where you feel like you're not doing enough. which seems like a self-criticism or like a negative thought to have. That might be part of the problem too, is that you might be having these critical thoughts of yourself where you're doing all this work, you're putting in all this effort into building yourself, into making yourself a better person. Maybe you're studying, maybe you're in school, but maybe you're putting a lot of energy into something, but you're still not feeling like it's enough. You're feeling like there's something you're not giving. And I think it's not that you're not giving enough or you're not working hard enough, because you are working hard enough. It's that the thing that you're meant to provide to the world, like there's something really deep that you're meant to provide to the world. There's something you're meant to be here to do. There's a purpose for you. And in the present moment, you might not be putting enough energy into that purpose. So you might be feeling unfulfilled. You might be feeling like something's missing, like something's empty. I'm seeing that some of you guys are literally like, you might resonate with like waking up and like just not wanting to do anything, being very sluggish, like possibly like even depressed, like you're just not wanting to get up and go and do things and to work hard and to go after things. And maybe you are working hard. I'm seeing actually a little bit of a bouncy energy where maybe you're working really, really hard one second and then the next year like you have just like don't have any energy to keep going. And then you're working really hard again and then all of a sudden you just can't do anything. Or there's certain areas of your life you can put tons of effort into, but there's other ones that just you can't seem to put any effort into at all. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing it's because of your purpose or something you're meant to offer this world or something that you're meant to create in this world. And you might not be putting enough energy into that. And then if you put more energy into that you would be more fulfilled. I'm seeing that your dreams might be trying to light you up to what that purpose is, that your dreams might be trying to tell you more about that purpose. Let's get a little bit more information on it. We get more information on Pile 3's dreams. We got competition. So maybe there's something you want to do that you feel like is highly competitive, and like maybe you feel a little bit like you can't do it because you're not going to make a profit out of it, or because there's going to be too much competition and the other people are better. Maybe you're having a bit of doubts about yourself and your abilities. Or like it could even be like, if we're talking studying in school, it could even be that like you're going in a direction or thinking about taking a course, or even taking a course that you think will provide you a job easier or be less competitive, or yeah, just won't cause any opposition at all. And so you're trying to find an easy route. You're trying to find a route that's going to be safe, that you can play it safe in. But really what you're meant to do is this competitive route, is this thing that might be hard to do because you're meant for it. That's your purpose. It might have something to do with giving to others in some way. There might be something you have to provide for the world. And this could be in any way. Maybe you need to provide the world with some kind of wisdom. Maybe you need to provide the world with some kind of art form that they can reflect on and feel more connected with their higher selves. Maybe you need to provide the world with a cause of some sort by showing them that change can be made in the world. But there's something here that you're meant to provide the world that you might not be in line with in this present moment. Yeah, there are some of you guys that I'm feeling are young as well. Some of you guys that might be just going to school or just finished high school, and that might be why there's a bit of confusion, anxiety as well, is because you're trying to figure out which direction to go in, and you might be choosing a direction that is safe, or you might be being told to choose a direction that is safe. Let's find out a little bit more for pile number 2. Let's find out more for pile number 2. Okay, we got the discontent card, as well as deceit. And then we got family in reverse. Okay, got lots of masks in these cards. So some of you guys you're shedding masks. So shedding who you used to be and becoming who you truly are, getting to know who you truly are. For some of you guys, this like competitive thing that you guys want to get into is, I heard, sports, dance, or drama, or acting. So you could have also had dreams about music or dance in your dreams, dreams about fighting and arguing with people. For some of you guys, you're having the dreams about arguing with people, but for others of you, you're having dreams, the arguing's actually like happening in the dreams, where you have loved ones that you care about a lot and you're having arguments with them in your dream and you don't know why. But I'm definitely seeing as like the bigger message that you're not feeling content with your life right now. Like you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling like you're dragging your feet, you're feeling like it's not as fulfilling as it once was, and you don't really understand why it's not as fulfilling as it once was. I'm seeing that you're like trying to deceive yourself. You're trying to tell yourself like it's fine, it's not that bad, or I built the life I love, I'm just comfortable now, that's all it is, or this is what I always wanted. And like you're just continuing trying to convince yourself that like your life is okay, that you're happy with what you have, you're trying to be grateful, I'm seeing. And so in your dreams, because you're trying to repress that energy, it's coming up in your dreams and it's trying to tell you like you're not as happy with your life as you think you are. You're feeling bored, you're feeling not as energetic anymore, like there's something missing. So the message with this discontent card here is that you're always meant to be creating something. So for some of you guys, you're meant to be doing some kind of creative project, like dancing, like music, like drama that we see here. So for some of you guys, it is like some field of work that you're meant to get into. But for others of you guys, it's time for a new project. It's time for something else that like lights you up. It's time for something else to feel creative about. For some of you guys, like I said, you have big life purposes and you're meant to bring something to the world. So for some of you guys, it really is a creative passion project that's meant to help the world see things in a different way. For some of you guys, it's a cause. For some of you guys, it's a charity. I'm hearing that you guys will know what this is, but you know like what your soul is calling you to do, and your soul is calling you to do something or to bring something to the world. And you may have tried to put like that life purpose down for a while or distract yourself from it because you felt like it wasn't profitable, because you felt like there's a lot of competition in it, I'm hearing as well. Some of you guys like had doubts about yourself and didn't think that you were going to pull this off. You didn't think that you were going to make profit. You didn't think that you were going to make it in this industry or in this field. And so you've kind of like delayed doing it and tried to convince yourself that you're okay with playing it safe. And I'm seeing that, you're feeling unfulfilled with your life because of that, because you really were meant to do that thing, because your heart is screaming at you to do that thing. And so, that's coming up in your dreams. It's trying to tell you to reconnect with your passions. Others of you guys, you've been going after your passions, you've been going after projects, you've been going after your life purpose, but it's just gotten to a time now where you've created that, it's final, and it's time to create something else. So I'm seeing the family card here in reverse. Some of you guys created yourselves a beautiful family and you're really passionate about being a mother or a father for a really long time, and taking care of your family. And now you've gotten to the point where you're like, okay, that's not as fulfilling anymore, I want to do more. So it's time to expand your horizons a bit, maybe get a part-time job somewhere, maybe do some kind of creative project on the side while you're taking care of your family. Others of you guys, like you had a line of work that you did that you were meant to do, you're very fulfilled by that work for a really long time, and now again you're feeling bored about it. Now you're feeling like, okay, I got all the promotions, I got to the top of the tower, I've got to the place where I was meant to get to, now what? And you're kind of just meant to start all over and start something else and find something else that you feel fulfilled about. But I'm really seeing that you're trying to tell yourself that this isn't true, that like what you have is good enough. And like I'm hearing like it's okay that you want more. It's okay that you always want to be creating. Like we're meant to create. That's the whole message with this card, is that like we feel unfulfilled if we're not always creating something. And creating doesn't have to be an art project or like painting or something like that's considered creative. Creating could just be like starting a new diet plan is being creative, right? Like, because you're changing yourself in some way. So you're planning out the diet and you're eating healthy foods. That's sort of a way of creating. You're creating a new you. For other people, creating is problem solving at work. Oh, I'm coming up with a new way to solve this problem that other people didn't think about. That's being creative. So it is that you guys want to go through with some kind of creative project or something that you feel passionate about. And I'm seeing that your family could be like what's stopping you. So a couple of different scenarios with the family stopping you. One is that they're stopping you in the present moment. And they're actually actively telling you like that's not a smart plan, do something that is going to make you better money, do something that's going to help you gain stability, do something that's more safe. Yeah, and your family could even be like, and like the message is that your family's telling you this stuff, but like it's not really like fully true, and they might not even realize like they're deceiving you. I know we have the deceit card here, but it might just be like that's what they truly believe, so they're passing it on to you. But like your spirits and angels and guides are saying like that's not actually true, you could really make it in this field even if it is competitive. For others of you guys, like this is like a past energy, where they've done that like growing up and it's in your unconscious, and that's why it's coming up in your dreams, was because like growing up you're constantly told play it safe, find a good field, and now that you've like built your life around this, you forget that like that's deeply ingrained in your unconscious because of like your family values, or like it's an ancestral, it might even be an ancestral pattern where it's been passed on for generations to play it safe, to not go and take too many risks, to go after something stable, go after something that makes us money. And like you might not even realize like that's where it's coming from, but like this is spirit saying like that's where it's coming from, and your dreams are trying to let you know that this is where it's coming from, that these aren't actually like your fears, these are fears that have been held on for generations, and you're meant to let this go so that you can go after something that you really enjoy. Another scenario I'm seeing is that like in the present moment you might actually be fighting with family about this, and that's where like the competition cards sort of coming up, is that it's a conflict with your family and they're like trying to prevent you from going in this direction that you really want to go in. Okay, let's find out one last message about your dreams, pile 2. Let's find out one last message about your dreams. One last message about pile 2's dreams. We have message in a bottle. So there are lots of signs, synchronicities, and symbols in your dreams I'm seeing that you should really pay attention to. We have to be fair. So your guides, yeah, they want you to pay attention to like any numbers that show up in your dreams, any animals that show up in your dreams, any creatures, anything that stands out to you in your dreams. They really want you to pay attention to it, even like just like Google it and look up sort of like what's the spiritual meaning of this, because they are talking to you through symbols in your dreams and they want you to pay attention to those. They have individual messages for you, ones like I can't even get into, but like you know, just to throw an example out there, like, you know, maybe you saw an owl in one of your dreams, and that could mean like, you know, you have inner wisdom. It's a very vague example, but like for you, like there might be very specific examples and little things you see in your dreams very briefly that you should like even write down in a journal and say, okay, I saw this animal or I saw this number, and then like look it up later when you have time so that you know what the symbol's trying to tell you, because your angels are really communicating with you through that. And it's also saying that like when you ask spirit questions and you say like angels and guides, like I need this like answer to this question, or I don't understand why this is happening, or I don't really know what direction to go in, like sometimes they do give you the answer in your dreams. So definitely to pay attention to those signs and symbols, because sometimes that's how they're answering you as well. So this one's like really, with the to be fair card here, like it's really pointing out, oh, that's so funny, there's actually a little owl here. Some of you guys actually saw owls in your dreams. That's crazy. Here, I'll hold that up a little closer. But yeah, there's like a little owl on the card on top of her head. That's so funny. Anyways, so with this to be fair card here, like I'm seeing that they're talking about like that bouncy energy I was talking about earlier, where you're kind of bouncing like back and forth between like many different energies. And I'm seeing that like they're just kind of like saying like that's okay. Like sometimes you're going to be very busy, you're going to be doing, and then sometimes you're going to be slowed down, you're not going to have as much energy for things, you're going to need to be still, you're going to need to relax. And I think your angels are telling you not to be anxious about that. Like that's okay that you are bouncing back and forth between those energies. It's absolutely normal. There's a time to go and there's a time to stay, there's a time to move, there's a time to be, and just to really listen to your angels and like use your dreams to sort of help you get in the groove of what inflow is for you, and when it is time to move and when it is time to slow down for you, and just to take what they're telling you to do and just do it when they're telling you to. Not to worry about the fact that like if you're feeling sluggish and you don't want to do anything for a day, it's okay to lay in bed. Lay in bed. Think about things for a little bit. Reconnect with your emotions. Meditate for a while. See if there's any messages or anything that your angels and guides are trying to tell you, really sit there and reflect for a bit. Maybe there is something you really need to hear, and that's more important than anything, and you don't need to be doing a bunch of things at once. It's also like there's also like a second message there. If you're not okay sort of with the way your life looks like right now, that like these things pass, like they'll move on, and everything has its place in the world. Okay, and I'll just get a couple more cards out of this one, and then we will complete our message, which we're getting. Then we got poised as our final message. Yeah, this card's just really telling you that like everything's going to be okay, everything's going good in your life, and just to be confident with where you're going is really the message here. Just to feel really good about yourself, allow yourself to feel really good about yourself, and just know that things are going well, things are going to be okay. Yeah, your angels and guides are with you. They're sending out a lot of love to you, and they're letting you know how amazing you are and how much you've accomplished and how well you're doing, and just to allow yourself to be in flow and be in balance, and that it's okay just to accept yourself for where you are and what you're doing and how you're doing it exactly the way you are right now. Okay, that's it, my beautiful souls who chose pile number 2. Bye now, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that message. Hello, my beautiful souls who chose pile number 3. Let's see, pile 3. Let's find out first, what is happening in your dreams? What is happening in your dreams? Okay, so we got the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Let's get a couple more. We also got boundaries. Where do I need to establish better boundaries? And awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being or integration. Okay, so you could be having dreams about other people in your dreams, or I'm getting that you're having dreams about people who feel familiar or seem familiar, but you can't really quite understand why they're familiar because you don't actually know them in your everyday life. I'm seeing you can have dreams about friendships or being friends with certain people that you just feel really strongly connected to, but again, you don't actually recognize them. They have different faces. You could have dreams about places that feel really familiar. I'm seeing like mountains, landscapes that feel really familiar. I see people like looking up at the stars, so maybe like even just like a place that you looked up at the stars that seems familiar. It might even be like a town or a suburban area. I'm seeing like residential zones where like you see all these houses lined up and it feels so familiar and it looks familiar and you feel like you grew up there, but you know you didn't. Certain things like that. So familiar places, familiar people are showing up in your dreams and you don't really know why they're familiar. I'm also seeing that some of you guys are having like dreams about flying, astral projection. You're having dreams where you were above whatever area you're at. So it could be like above your bed looking down where you can actually see your bed in your whole bedroom. Or you could be having a dream where just like the place of the dream's happening, you can see it from a bird's eye view. Also seeing that you're like, you may have dreams where you're in the clouds or you're in space or you're flying, or possibly a creature that can fly, like a butterfly, a fairy, a bird. Seeing dreams where you feel like really light, like there's not a lot of gravity. Dreams where you can do magic. Interesting, that's a cool dream. I'm also seeing that for like the more nightmare-y kinds of dreams, you might have dreams where you feel like trapped and stuck, like you can't move. I heard sleep paralysis, so some of you guys are experiencing sleep paralysis where you wake up but you actually cannot move your body at all because you're still between a dream and a sleep state. Some of you guys have dreams where you feel really trapped, like someone's holding you, or like you feel like you can't move because of some invisible force. Dreams where you can't talk, where you can't scream, where people are touching you and you can't do anything about it. Dreams where you're being chased. Dreams where you're being hurt or violated in some way. Dreams where you feel scared. You don't really know why you feel scared. I'm seeing dreams that with even like shadow figures in the dreams might happen. I hear dreams where someone was cutting off your hair. Dreams where you're stuck in an open space and you can't get anywhere, like dreams where you're lost, you can't go anywhere, or you're in an open space and they're just like there seems to be no direction at all. Dreams where you're up on a mountain but you can't get down. Okay, now let's find out, why are you having these dreams? What is Spirit trying to tell you? Why are you having these dreams? Okay. You got the Hierophant in reverse. I'm gonna take a couple more cards before I talk about that one. Why is pile 3 having these dreams? Why is pile 3 having these dreams? We also got the 8 of Wands. Along with the Hanged Man in reverse. And the 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Seeing that you might be having these dreams because right now in your waking life you're feeling very busy, very on the go, very like overburdened, and seeing drained energy, like something is draining your energy. You feel like you just like you've got a lot going on. Like you might not even think you have a lot going on, but between like other people in your life, your job, your home life, even just like chores and everyday tasks you have to take care of, you're feeling exhausted. You feel like there's just a lot going on. Maybe you have some kind of side project or side hustle on top of your job, or maybe you have a second job. Maybe you've been visiting a lot of people, going a lot of places. Just, yeah, very, very busy right now. Like you feel like you don't really have downtime. You're just constantly moving is what I'm seeing. And that right now is definitely meant to be a time for you to be having a spiritual awakening. So some of you guys have just had your first spiritual awakening or going through your first spiritual awakening, or you're meant to be having another spiritual awakening, so we can have more than one. So you might be on your second or your third or your fourth or however many, or that you are having a transformation of some sorts if that doesn't resonate with you. So people call them different things. Some people call it a transformation, some people call it a spiritual awakening, some people have a difference that they see between the two. But yeah, for you guys, you're definitely going through something heavy and spiritual where you're meant to develop and grow. And I'm seeing that this spiritual awakening or this spiritual moment is taking a lot of energy from you as it is. I mean, they can be quite exhausting. Like that's like when you are having a spiritual awakening, like you are connecting with the divine, with the higher realms, and you're getting so many downloads and so much more information, and your whole system is being like upgraded basically. So like think about a computer having an update and how slow it is and how you can't really do anything else on the side. I'm really seeing that energy with you guys where you're feeling like a bit sluggish, like you can't really get a lot done, and you feel like these nightmares or these dreams are plaguing you a bit. But really it has a lot to do with the fact that you simply are going through this transformation, this big spiritual time in your life, and you're really meant to like kind of slow down and just kind of allow it to happen. But because you're being so busy, because you're doing so much, you're actually not allowing it to happen. So you're kind of fighting the update or the spiritual awakening a bit because you're doing so many other things at once. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you're overburdened, like you don't have a lot of energy left, and I don't think like you realize, like you might not even realize that this like spiritual awakening is happening, or you know that like it's meant to happen, but you just really just don't feel like you have enough time for it right now, or that you just have like a lot of other things you need to deal with first. Spirit definitely just wants you to take that time to pause, to really reflect, to just allow it to happen, because it is happening for you, it is happening for a reason, and it is going to make things easier if you just step back and allow it to happen for a moment. Let's find out a little bit more information. Okay, we got the King of Cups in reverse, the Moon in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, I'm seeing that there's definitely something emotionally that is happening sort of under the surface. So I'm hearing like suppressed emotions. So Yeah, either something that's like, either it could just be like your present day moments, like you're just going so fast, doing so many things that you might not even have like checked in with yourself to say that you're like bothered by certain things. Like maybe someone swore at you one time and you just kind of like just didn't even have the time to deal with it and you had to move on and go on with your life. But deep down, like that really bothers you that they swore you because you thought that they swore at you because you thought that was disrespectful. It could be something little like that, or it could be something deeper where like you had a breakup several years ago and you thought you were over it and you thought you healed from that and you thought you moved on, but it's sort of coming back to the surface again and you have to re-examine those emotions in some way, or there's something from the past that just didn't quite get fully healed that is kind of bothering you right now, and you're meant to explore that as part of this transformation process. Yeah, there's definitely something emotionally that just it needs to be explored that's sort of not being explored. This could be a very, very old energy or very present energy. Some of you guys, it's like emotions and memories that like you don't even know about, like they're ancient, but you need to remember them. I'm seeing, because they are sort of affecting you, and your dreams are trying to bring them up and show you these experiences that you don't even remember that you had, so that you can heal from them. Yeah, and with this Knight of Swords in reverse again, I'm getting that same information that whatever you're doing right now in your waking life, you're moving too fast, you've got too much on your plate, and you're doing too much at once, and your spiritual side needs your attention right now, your unconscious needs your attention right now, your emotions need your attention right now. Spirit really wants you to spend some time like alone, in solitude, meditating by yourself, reconnecting is what I'm seeing. Like you need like a full on just allow the upgrade to happen is what I'm seeing. I know for me personally, like when I have a spiritual awakening, like I end up having to like lay in bed and be like giving myself permission to do nothing. Like I end up having to be like, okay, not like, you know, I'm gonna do the minimum, I'm gonna like clean up after myself, I'm gonna eat, but then after that point, like I'm going to lay in bed, I'm just going to reflect, I'm going to allow my thoughts to happen, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to try to stay in a high vibrational state, but then that's it. And you know what? It's honestly the most beautiful experience when you just let that happen, when you just allow that energy to flow into you without like worrying about anything else in your life, letting like you just let some balls drop for a little bit of time and you just relax and you rest, especially like if you're available in your life to do that. It's a very beautiful experience, and it doesn't have to be painful and draining, and it can actually be like so empowering. And when you get out of it, you feel so much better, and you're like, I'm just so thankful that like I just allowed it to happen, because it just felt so much more blissful when I did just allow it to happen, as opposed to fighting against it or just focusing on all the other things in my life while trying to allow it to happen too, right? Just like a computer who's taking downloads and upgrades, you don't do other things on the computer while it's doing that. You just give it its time to do it, let it spend time alone, and then you can go back to getting those other things done later. And I'm definitely seeing that Spirit wants you to take a similar approach with this. Like allow yourself to meditate, allow yourself to get to that high vibrational state, allow yourself to just really rest, and allow them to come in, because they have messages for you, they have things that they want you to have downloads about, they want to communicate with you, they want your spirituality to be number one priority right now, I'm seeing, and they want you to allow the other things to fall to the wayside for a little bit. And they're definitely trying to let you know that through your dreams. There might even be messages and things that they're trying to tell you that like you're not even hearing, because you're waking up and the first thought that comes to your head is what you have to do. Maybe you're the type of person who wakes up and checks their to-do list. Yeah, very busy go people I'm seeing here. I'm also seeing for some of you guys with this Knight of Swords in reverse here that there's people you need to communicate with or talk to, especially if it is to do with your emotions, or something that you're emotionally holding back and that you are avoiding talking to about certain situations, or even the people that like, yeah, I'm just seeing like avoiding talking to certain people possibly, or you're at risk of being impulsive with what you're saying. I'm hearing too, you might say something that you don't mean, or say something hurtful or harsh in the heat of the moment, because you are holding back some of your emotions or holding back something in your unconscious that you don't realize. It's going to be different with every person. Some of these people, like for some of you guys, this isn't even a current energy. This is like a past thing that you've held on to and that you're not expressing in the present moment. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing some unexpressed emotions here. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? What else? we got the Chariot. Yeah, you guys are very busy people, doing a lot, very much on the go. Might even travel or drive for a living, or just, you might just be in the midst of doing a lot, taking a lot of action, I'm seeing. I'm also seeing the moon here again, so yes, the unconscious is very important. There's something in your unconscious that wants to come to the surface. There's something that you are repressing right now, a feeling that you're repressing, a emotion you're repressing, an experience you're repressing, your feelings around an experience you're repressing that I'm seeing that needs to come to the surface, that you need to re-explore and to allow yourself to feel again and to heal from that. This might be a situation that you feel like you've already healed, and you might need to sort of relook at that because there is something that is becoming a theme in your present moment or in your daily life that you don't realize is connected to that. Yeah, I'm seeing over here this little angel. Like, your angels are wanting to communicate with you, but they feel like they're like far away. Like, they're communicating through fog. They're communicating, like, they're trying to communicate with, like, I'm seeing a shooting star. Like, they're trying to chase after this like super fast shooting star that's just always moving, doesn't slow down, doesn't ever like stay still enough for them to actually talk to them. And they would just like it if you spend some more time in stillness and more time connecting with them so that they can get their message across, because there is something they want to say. I'm seeing with these white and black horses here that it's okay to balance sort of your light attributes with your shadow attributes, and that it's okay to accept like all parts of yourself, whether you consider them light or shadow. I'm seeing that like if you experience like darker emotions, like, well, everybody does, but I'm seeing like when you experience darker emotions like anger and sadness and even hatred and resentment and like just like really deep harsh emotions, jealousy, I'm even seeing, just to accept yourself and accept the fact that you do experience those emotions, even accept like the actions that come with them, even if they're not the nicest actions in the world. Just accept that, you know, it happens and that it's okay to be human. It's okay to have experiences. It's okay to feel. That doesn't mean like don't put any effort into controlling yourself or controlling your actions or making changes. Of course, like we all have regrets and everything like that, but don't sit there in an energy of shame forever either, and don't try to repress your emotions because you feel like, oh, one time when I was angry I said something I didn't mean, so I never want to feel angry again. Like, it's okay. You can forgive yourself, you can move on from that, and you can think for next time, you know, next time I'm feeling angry, what can I do as soon as I feel angry, like the second I feel that emotion, so that I don't get to the point where it's coming up because it's bottled up or because I'm resisting that emotion, because it actually is the resistance that's going to make behaviors like name calling or saying something not so nice or like doing those things that we associate as bad anger. That doesn't happen because somebody is experiencing their anger. That happens because somebody's repressing their anger. So accepting yourself and all parts of yourself will actually keep you from getting that angry, is what I'm seeing too. If that's what you're dealing with. If you're not, then that message might not resonate with you, but even so, just even accepting the fact that you do feel that emotion. Some of you guys might be more worried about turning into that because you've seen other people react that way too. You see someone else react angry and you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to get into my anger because I don't want to react the way that they are. And again, like, it happens more when you push it away and try not to feel it. Then those reactions happen when you actually just allow yourself to experience and accept the fact that you are feeling what you're feeling. You got the Lovers in reverse. So with this card, I'm seeing that, you know, some of the repressed emotions or things that are coming up through your dreams are actually like things that were experienced in past relationships. So these relationships can be really old, they can be more recent, they can even be like platonic friendships in the present moment. Mostly intimate relationships, though, I'm seeing, mostly romantic relationships. But what I'm seeing is that like some of these emotions were like things that you felt in those relationships, things that like maybe you were in, like, for example, a relationship with somebody and, you know, they said a lot of harsh things to you and you didn't want to feel angry at them, so you told yourself that you weren't angry, that it was okay, that you let it slide off of you, that it wasn't a big deal. But now like you're having these strange dreams all the time because you were meant to set up boundaries and you were meant to really like feel that anger and feel that emotion, and now they're coming up through your dreams because you didn't experience that in your relationship. Or possibly it's that in the present moment you're having an experience that is bringing up anger for you, or is bringing up certain emotions for you that you haven't really experienced or felt since that relationship. And it's because you're meant to learn something from that relationship that maybe you haven't quite grasped yet, or you're meant to remind yourself of a lesson that you learned in that relationship so that you can use it in the present moment, because there is an experience coming up that you're meant to use that lesson in. But there's definitely something worth exploring in your past relationships I'm seeing here. And that could sort of be where the emotions are coming from. Some of you guys, and this is like more of a few of you, but some of you guys did just recently have a breakup, and maybe you haven't quite allowed yourself to feel the emotions that came with that breakup, the feelings of loss, the feelings of sadness, feelings of acceptance. Maybe you've really tried to tell yourself you're not bothered by the fact that they left you, or you're not bothered by the fact that you had to leave them, or you're not bothered by how they treated you, or that you're just like completely okay and cool with the whole situation. You're really just trying to put yourself into that mindset instead of just allowing yourself to feel that grief, because every relationship ends with grief. Like, no matter what kind of relationship it is, there is grief there, and you absolutely do need to feel that and experience that, because that's just a natural emotion we feel. That just means that you cared about something, that you loved something, and that's a good feeling to feel. It means that your heart is still open. If you're not experiencing the grief and you're feeling like very nonchalant, not like caring about it very much, that's a good chance that you are repressing that grief and are therefore closing off your heart chakra and not allowing yourself to give and receive love in the same way anymore, because you're not allowing yourself to feel the emotions that come with it. Grief is a normal emotion to feel when we lose something that we consider of value. And you also got the Knight of Air in reverse. Okay, that's crazy, because that is the second Knight of Swords that has came out in the reverse position. So that is a very important message for you guys. Yeah, we're definitely seeing like a risk of acting like impulsively here. So that could be like what I said earlier, like saying something you don't mean, getting angry in the heat of the moment. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing like words like I'm definitely seeing like for some of you guys, like you're saying things that you don't mean, or you might not have yet, but you're at risk for saying something you don't mean because you are repressing this emotion, particularly anger. I'm seeing a lot of you guys are really trying to repress your anger, and you might think, and especially like this Hierophant card here, you might think that you are being spiritual by trying to repress that anger. You're like, I know like a lot of spiritual leaders will try to teach us like, choose to be in a state of joy instead of being in a state of anger. And that's great. Like, absolutely on a regular basis, do choose to be in a state of joy. You can change your vibration in that way by saying, yes, I want to be in joy. That's not to say that what they're saying isn't true, but I think some people, sometimes it's a little bit misguided, or like we take it a little bit in the wrong way, where it means like never feel anger. Like, anger is a normal emotion that does come up. You do have to allow yourself to feel that for that moment. You don't have to sit in it forever. And you certainly, and it's actually the act of not allowing yourself to sit in it at all that creates this sort of volcanic effect where you're pushing it down into your system to the point where it needs to come up and express itself. Remember, anger has a message for you. Its message is often that you need to change something. In this case, because we have the boundaries card, the change that needs to be made is boundaries. Somewhere along the line, boundaries weren't set, or you need to set boundaries in your present moment by even just like saying no, like, no, you can't treat me that way, or I'm going to walk away and break up with you because I don't appreciate being treated this way. Or just even saying your words and sticking up for yourself by saying, listen, I don't appreciate it when you talk to me that way, so therefore I'm not going to engage with you right now while you talk to me that way. Things like that are just are definitely the message that's coming up here, and it'll be different for each one of you guys, but I'm definitely seeing that because you haven't put up those boundaries, you're definitely in a state where you could like have that anger come up at a time that you're not prepared for it to come up at by like lashing out later, or being very triggered by like a small thing somebody says, or even taking it out on the wrong person I'm seeing. And like, if this has already happened to you, I'm not saying like to hate yourself on it or like any kind of shame, like absolutely not. Like, if you like, what happens when we don't like set boundaries is like we're taking in all of that energy. Essentially, like a person is like not treating us well, and we're just sitting there kind of letting them not treat us, so then we're taking on all of their energy because we're not putting boundaries, and like we're not making that separate wall between them and us. We're instead making it all about them and allowing them to do what they want. Because usually what happens, like if we're allowing someone to treat us in a certain way, usually so one case is like unconsciously we're telling ourselves that we deserve to be treated that way. Therefore, anything they throw at us, whether no matter how bad it feels, we just take it and allow ourselves to feel all these kind of negative things being thrown at us and tell ourselves, well, you deserve it, so I'm just going to take that. Like, that's one scenario. Another one is like we feel like we really want the validation from that person, or we feel like we really want to impress them, or really want to be what they see us as being, or even just we want to be what we think society and other people think we should be. And so therefore, again, we're taking on the energy of other people's opinions now, and the way other people see us, and we're taking that into ourselves, and we're draining ourselves with trying to be something that we're not, or trying to be what other people want us to be. Either way, you see it in the cards. Essentially, people are grabbing energy from you, and it's causing you to become drained and not have enough healing energy to heal yourself and be in that present moment, in that light flowy state. So naturally, when we have no energy left and everything's being taken from us, and then we're being sent this negative anger and this negative we're having our own emotions plus this other person's emotions on top of it, like it's bound to come out. Like it's going to erupt like a volcano, because you don't even have enough healing energy to actually calm yourself down, to actually be present in that moment. And in a lot of ways, you've kind of made yourself unaware that this is even happening. You've made yourself like oblivious by trying to tell yourself, I just need to be happy, or I just need to accept this, or I just need to allow this, or I'm not bothered by this, even though your like soul is calling you and trying to say, no, your truth is that you are bothered by this. I am bothered by this. And like, I'm seeing your soul like wanting its voice to be heard. Like, please tell my body I am bothered by this. Because that's actually what you really are experiencing. I know like some of you guys are definitely like wondering, like, what do you do with your emotions if you don't like just try to choose to feel joy, or try to like block them out, or try to feel something else, or try to distract yourself? Like, how do you just like sit in your emotions and like really you just like just take out a journal and just write down what you're feeling? It's just about accepting that you feel a certain way. Really, it doesn't have to be a big long lengthy process of you going into your deep childhood wounds. I mean, if you do that, like that's great, that's shadow work. But in the present moment, really all you have to do is like just accept. You can say to yourself out loud or in your journal, I am feeling angry. And you can go, I am feeling angry because so and so said this to me. That bothers me because, well, I think that means that they don't care about me and love me, and I think I deserve to be cared about and loved. And then you can kind of explore the meaning that you gave that, right? In some cases, you're going to realize maybe that means that they hate themselves, and that they're not caring about themselves, and it really has nothing to do with me, and therefore I don't need to believe that that's a sign that they don't love me. In other cases, you're going to say, well, you know, maybe that's not a sign they don't love me, but it's a sign that they don't respect me because they can't control themselves enough not to treat me that way. Or even though they're going through something and they're hurting from something else, I still don't deserve to be treated that way, and if I'm going to continue to be treated that way, I need to love myself enough to walk away from that. But either way, like journaling about it and writing it down and just taking the moment to acknowledge that is what's going to bring up those other messages that tell you sort of the hows and whys, the feelings coming up, and what you can actually do and what actions it wants you to take. Oftentimes, anger really does want you to take some kind of action, and it doesn't have to be some like gigantic, like I'm cutting off every single person in my life action. But sometimes it is just as simple as, okay, I need to put up a boundary. Okay, I need to tell this person that wasn't okay. Okay, I need to take a break from this person for a little bit. Or I need to remind myself that what this person is currently doing in this moment isn't actually about me, and I need to stop taking on that energy and love myself more. All good things to do in this situation, but you definitely need to take that moment and just allow yourself to feel your feelings. Okay, let's see. What else, pile 3, do we need to know about your dreams? What else, pile 3, do we need to know about your dreams? We got the 3 of Fire in reverse. But you know what's really crazy about this card? Is if you look in the picture on it, there is a volcano erupting in the background. Like, that is crazy. Exactly what I was just talking about. And if we actually look at the picture too, it's actually a dragon, and that's like actually like what I picture there too, is that and that's kind of like what I picture with emotions too. Is like for myself, when I'm thinking like I'm feeling like an extreme emotion, like anger or something like that, and I haven't really properly expressed it, like I feel like I personally turn into a dragon. I start breathing fire. Like, dragons are beautiful mythical creatures that like are really gorgeous on the outside and like just like seem so magical and wonderful, but then all of a sudden like they get angry and then boom, there goes like the fire breathing and all that craziness. And that's kind of like what a suppressed emotion is. It's like it's a beautiful thing up until you hold it back to the point where it has to become that fire breathing energy, and it has to come out because it's been too bottled up. You see this imagery is like very protective too. Like, you see this little innocent girl with this like dragon right beside her. And I see it's like very protective, like even with, I know this is in reverse, but even with this card here, like you see this girl who like is just so innocent, so pure, and then someone tries to hurt her, says something cruel to her, says something mean to her, says something that's going to hurt her emotionally, or even in other ways. I'm sticking to emotions with this reading, but if other ways resonate with you guys, like hurting her in some way, and because like she didn't put up those walls and boundaries to say stop, that's enough, you can't hurt me, you can't do that for herself. She has this dragon that's here to protect her, that's here to come out and make sure that that hurt doesn't come at her, that hurt doesn't damage her. And that's sort of kind of like what your emotions are doing for you when that volcano erupts, is that like you're not putting up those boundaries yourself in the beginning steps, like nipping it in the bud, so then it becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger problem, to the point where your unconscious is like, that's enough, I can't handle any more pain, I've taken on all of this pain and just wrapped it into myself, to the point where like I'm overflowing, I need to let it out, and I'm going to let it out right at that person, because that person has done all of this to me. And this is sort of like what creates a lot of turmoil, a lot of arguments with people. It's like, and yeah, I'm going to use a husband and a wife as an example for this. So like, let's say the wife comes home every single day after work, and she's like doing dishes and she's doing chores and she's doing all the cleanup, and she goes up to the husband and she says like, hey, can you help me with the chores? And the husband says, sure, no problem, when I'm done watching my show, I'll go and help you with that, but then never gets around to helping her. And like, she continues to ask him every single day, and he continues not to help her, and she just continues to go and do the chores anyways. And she keeps telling herself, oh, it's okay, it's just a little bit of chores, he means well, he's just tired from work, it's okay. And she keeps trying to convince herself it's okay, but then her unconscious is saying, no, it's not okay, no, I'm depleted too, no, I'm tired from work too, I need some help, I need some support, this is his mess too, he should be doing that. So she's got all these unconscious messages happening on the inside, but she doesn't want to recognize that. So every single day she just kind of brushes it off, until one day he doesn't do it, and she's screaming her head off at him. And like, people look at that woman and they're like, oh my god, like that woman is crazy, she's losing her mind, like why is she so nuts? And like, in reality, it's just that she held back her emotions for so long, to the point where they erupted by a volcano. And it's kind of like her dragon, right? She was getting more and more damaged every single time she allowed herself to do those chores. that were his responsibility, because she was starting to feel like she wasn't being loved and taken care of. Like her husband wasn't paying attention to the fact that she's feeling depleted. Her husband wasn't caring enough to see that she wasn't energetic enough to do things, and her husband wasn't paying attention to that. So her sort of unconscious came up with the dragon, who exploded in the form of yelling to try to protect her from having any more damage from him taking advantage of her anymore and continuing to allow her to do chores. Now, in that example, of course, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, like, you know, that woman should have communicated, that woman should have, like, put her foot down and just said to her husband, like, listen, I need something done here. Or a lot of other of you guys are thinking, oh gosh, that husband's lazy, he should have helped. And it doesn't really matter in that situation. The point is that if that woman had, like, acknowledged in the beginning when he started to not do his chores and everything like that, and she put her foot down, she said, listen, you need to do your chores, I'm not doing it for you, I can't live with you if you don't do your chores, this isn't going to work, and really set up that boundary to the point where she even accepted the fact that, like, I'm actually not going to continue to live with this person if they can't hold their own weight, because that's not fair to me, and that's not loving myself by allowing myself to continue to be in a situation where I'm being taken advantage of. And if she makes that clear to her husband and says it in, like, a really firm way, then she is then protecting herself, right? The husband's choice is the husband's choice. He's either going to choose to get his act together and deal with those chores, or she's going to have to make a hard choice and move on from that in protection of herself. But that's her taking her own protection, so that this dragon doesn't need to come out and protect her for her. Very cute message. Okay, lots of messages from the imagery of that card. Anyways, the card itself, though, too, has its own message. So Three of Wands normally talks about taking first steps, walking in the direction that you want to go, the beginning of a journey. And so in reverse, what I see is like not wanting to take those steps, a lot of resistance into taking those first steps. So in that example, I said, like, the first step for her would be to say to her husband, listen, I'm willing to leave. I cannot live with you here. I cannot be here if you don't pull your own weight too, because that wouldn't be fair to me and that wouldn't be loving myself. So you guys may have felt like a lot of resistance to something like that because you, like, really love and care about that person, and you can't handle the thought of losing that person, and you're willing to take less for yourself just so you have that person in your life. And that's just like one example, but that might be a real situation that you guys are in, and you might need to explore, you know, why you need that other person to give you love, to give you validation. Again, in that example, like, your situation might be completely different. It might not even be related to a relationship, but in that example, that might be what you need to explore, is why is that person, why am I seeking love and validation from this person to a point where I'm willing to give up loving myself, where I'm willing to allow myself to be devalued, where I'm willing to allow myself to be disrespected. And you might need to explore those emotions too. Why do I feel like I need this person here? Do I feel like they truly are loving me and respecting me when they treat me this way? What is it they are truly offering me if they're not offering me love and support in that way? Do I feel like I can achieve getting that elsewhere? Do I feel like I can give that to myself? Exploring questions like that might be something that you need to do so that you can take steps in that direction, to set boundaries, to move forward emotionally. With this card, I'm also seeing that some of you guys might be feeling like a bit discouraged because maybe you've tried to, like, set boundaries, you've tried to emotionally connect with yourself, you've tried to really explore your emotions, to do this shadow work, and you found that even though you're moving forward with the shadow work or with the emotional exploration or with allowing yourself to feel again or setting a boundary, that even though you've went in that direction, you are then falling back and ending up in the same patterns again. So you love yourself, you really care about yourself, you're feeling really good about yourself, you're setting those boundaries, you're saying no, and then all of a sudden a big fight happens with your significant other and you allowed him to, again in that example, not do the dishes, and you're feeling really discouraged because you tried that but it didn't work. And like the message with that card is just to say like that's okay, like it's okay to fall down sometimes, it's okay to fail sometimes. Maybe you did yell at somebody or say something you didn't mean or explode at somebody, or again had that moment and you like allowed yourself to feel like a lot of shame about it. And again, like spirit's just trying to say it's okay, like it's okay if you had a setback, it's okay if it didn't go perfectly in that direction, you're still moving in the right direction. Like mistakes are going to happen, setbacks are going to happen, that's just part of the journey. Like there's no moving forward without having setbacks, there's no moving forward without making mistakes, there's no moving forward without doing it sometimes. Like self-love is like a whole life journey. Like you're always going to have moments where you don't feel like you've loved yourself enough, you're always going to have moments where you're going to feel shame, you're always going to have moments where you say something you don't mean, or you do something you don't mean, or do something that you don't feel like is in true alignment with yourself. And it's okay, it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to have setbacks, is the message with this card. And just to really focus on self-forgiveness and loving yourself anyways, loving all parts of yourself, especially with this card here. Like I just see that balance between the white and the dark, and just like understanding that even that part that is saying mean things to people, even that part of me that is doing something that I consider despicable, even that part of me that isn't being kind and caring the way I see myself in the mirror, I love that part too, because that part also needs love from me, that part also needs me to love it. That part is a very hurt part of myself. That part of me is a very caring part of myself that doesn't feel like it's being cared for back. I'm going to care for it back. And that's what I'm seeing is definitely coming up in your dreams, is that your emotional state is definitely being presented in your dreams, and spirit really wants you to look at that. I'm going to get one last final message for you guys, pile number 3. I'm going to get one last final message for you guys, pile 3. These are interesting cards for spirit to pick. I wonder what they have to say. Pile 3, what's one last message about your dreams? Pile 3, what's one last message about your dreams? We got the Gambler, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Yeah, spirit definitely wants you to connect with them. Definitely spend some time resting to yourself, reconnecting with them, hearing the message that they're sending you, because they have a lot to say on this situation. I'm hearing a lot more than I can say in this reading. And some of these messages are very specific to you. Like I was trying to cover like a lot of bases in this reading, and I felt like all over the place, because for some of you guys, like I can talk about relationships all day, but for some of you guys it's not even about relationships, it's about like family members, it's about like how you're feeling about work, it's about like so many different things. And like some of you guys, I'm seeing repressed memories, repressed emotions, things that you just generally thought like didn't bother you are bothering you, and like your subconscious is just bringing them out in high speed through your dreams. And so like they really just want you to have trust in spirit, and have trust that things are going to be okay, have trust that they are sending you in the right direction. They might tell you to do some things that seem interesting or seem different, and you're like, why am I being guided to do this? And they have something to do with healing, and it's going to help you. I know, weirdly enough, like I've been guided to do lots of things during meditation that I'm like, what on earth am I doing? Only to realize after my meditation, I'm like, oh, that made perfect sense actually. That really helped. And it's like weird healing practices and stuff like that that you might not even realize that you know how to do, but you end up knowing how to do it through a meditation because your guides are helping you. So just definitely really take the time to trust in that. And to really trust in yourself, I'm seeing too. Like even more than like the willingness to follow your intuition, I'm seeing even when others doubt you, like willing to trust yourself even when others doubt you. Not giving them so much power. I'm seeing giving yourself the power again. Really trusting in yourself. I'm seeing, and your own intuition, your own guidance, your own opinions, your own thoughts. Not allowing what others think you should do be your main guidance for life. Yeah, I'm seeing for some of you guys, like, especially, and like, honestly, I think we all kind of go through that at the beginning of our spiritual awakening. If that is you, again, that's only some of you, but for those of you guys who did just spiritually awaken, we hear all about the spirituality stuff and we get all this new information, and it's so cool and it's so fresh and it's so wonderful. And like, I know me personally, like I ate it right up, and I ate I thought like every single word that every single spiritual person was saying was absolutely for me, was absolutely like something I should do. And even myself, I got to a point where I was like repressing emotions for a while because I thought I needed to be in this high vibration light energy all the time, and I thought the best way to do that was to simply not feel my emotions. And I didn't realize that I actually was doing that. I thought I was making myself feel high vibrational and I was being like all light and all that, but really I was holding back my personal emotions. And when I finally said to myself, okay, I'm feeling a lot of shame and I don't deserve to feel that anymore, when I said that to myself out loud, oh my gosh, that was the real awakening for me. Like my first spiritual awakening was nothing compared to the moment that I said to myself, I don't deserve to feel this shame anymore. That was a much bigger awakening, and that might be the type of awakening that you need to experience right now, is the one where you say, listen, I deserve to feel better than what I'm feeling right now. I deserve to acknowledge my emotions. I deserve to love myself even when I'm having those darker emotions. I deserve to love myself even if I'm not looking exactly the way that other people think I should be. I deserve to love myself in all moments. And when you can say that to yourself, like, that's going to be your real awakening, I'm seeing. Okay, let's get one other card. Okay, this one just kind of flew off. Okay, so you got Slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Yeah, like, your angels and guides just really want you to completely surrender and to completely, like, just allow them to take over for a moment. I'm seeing that, like, you might feel overburdened by all of what I just said. You're like, oh my gosh, all this emotional work, all this shadow work, all this, like, crazy stuff. And, like, I get it. Like, when you're talking about emotions, it's sometimes hard to know where to begin. When we're talking about shadow work, it's like, what do you even mean by that? And like, if that's you, I'm definitely like seeing that your angels and guides are actually saying, you know what, just close your eyes and meditate for a while. We'll take the lead. You'd be surprised what kinds of things you'll be capable of doing and healing and moving through when you just let your angels and guides take the lead. It's crazy. Like, I've had some crazy experiences just because like my angels and guides have taken the lead, and I'm like, whoa, that was so much easier than what I was trying. I'm sitting there overthinking this and trying to control this and control that. And they're really saying that they're here to help you. They're here to support you. They love you unconditionally, and that they will help you through it. Just like allow them to be there and present with you, and they will lead you into directions you can't even imagine. And that this doesn't have to be hard at all. They're going to make it easy for you. They will definitely help you figure out the first step. And you can even just like start with like closing your eyes, laying down and saying, like, even just like kind of sending a prayer, or like angels and guides, or whatever you believe in. I know I'm using the words angels and guides, but some of you guys might prefer to say God or something else. But whatever you believe in, just say to the universe, say, I want to be healed right now, or I want to release shame, I want to release anger, I want to get to know my anger better, I want to get to know my shadow self better. Like, set some kind of intention, and they will help you, and they will lead the rest of the way for you. Okay, so that's all I'm seeing, pile number 3. I really hope you enjoyed that message. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.